Hello my precious friends, I really hope that you are doing great. Welcome to our today's class. It's our third lesson on transformations. So we are going to look at how to obtain the center of rotation and also the angle of rotation by construction. So our example 3 reads that the vertices of a quadrilateral OPQR are as given, and the vertices of its image O prime, P prime, Q prime, and R prime are as given. So in part A, we are told that on the grid, draw OPQ and its image O prime, P prime, Q prime, and R prime. So looking at the given coordinates, the largest value of X is actually positive 4. Then the largest value of Y, we have 0, we have positive 2, we have up to 3. Therefore, I'm going to plot what I call my Cartesian plane. So I'll have my y-axis through this particular point here. Then I'll also draw my x-axis to pass through this point. Of course, after that, I'm going to label all my axes. I want to use a scale of 2. So after 2 boxes, I'm going to have positive 1. After 2 boxes, positive 2. After 2 boxes, positive 3. After 2 boxes, I'll have positive 4. Then after 2 boxes, I'll have positive 5. Then of course, I make these axes continuous. So this is my y-axis. On the other side, of course, this will be the point 0, 0. So that this will be negative 1. After 2 boxes, I'll have negative 2. Then negative 3. After 2 boxes, I'll have negative 4. Then maybe I can go up to negative 5. Then of course I also make these axes continuous. Then on the x-axis I'm going to have positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, then positive 4, positive 5, then maybe I can add up to positive 6. So this is my x-axis. I'm also going to label it. So on this other side I'm going to have negative 1, after 2 boxes negative 2, then I'll have negative 3, then negative 4, then negative 5. So maybe I can add up to negative 6. So let me make also these axes continuous. So in part A, we are Roman 1, we are required to draw OPQR. So of course we are given the coordinates. So our coordinate of O is the origin, which is 0.00. So our 0, 0 will be here. So this is point O. Then point P is 2, 0. So my 2, 0 will be here. 2 on the x-axis, then 0 on the y-axis. So this is P. Then point Q, I have 4, positive 2. So this is 4 on the y-axis, positive 2. This is the point Q. Then point R, I'm given as 0, 3. So this is 0 on the x-axis, then positive 3 on the y-axis. So this is the point R. Of course, after that, I'm going to join those coordinates. So O to P is already joined. Then P will be joined to Q this way. Then, of course, Q will be joined to R. Then R will be joined back to the starting point, which was O. Of course, it's already joined. Then we also need to draw O prime, P prime, Q prime, and R prime. So of course we are given the coordinates. So I'm going to start with the point O prime, which has the coordinates of 1, negative 1. So this is positive 1. Then negative 1, of course, is here. So this is what I'm calling O prime. Then the next coordinate is P prime, which is 1, negative 3. So this is positive 1, negative 3 is around here. So this is P prime. Then Q prime, we have 3, negative 5. So this is 3, negative 5 is around this point. So this is Q prime. Then R prime is 4, negative 1. So this is positive 4. Then negative 1, of course, is still at this point. So this is R prime. After that, I'm going to connect, of course, O to O prime to P prime this way. Then P prime should be connected to Q prime. then of course Q prime should be connected to R prime, then R prime to be connected to the starting point, which was O prime. So this is the object and the image of quadrilateral O, P, Q, and R. Then in Roman 2, we are required that by construction, determine the center and the angle of rotation. So if you want to find the center of rotation, we are simply going to use a pair of compass. So you pick a point, for example, P and P prime. So let me pick point P. So you simply put your pair of compass at point P, then you are going to stretch it until it fits through the P prime. So let me reduce the length of my compass until it fits to point P prime. Let me try to rotate it. Yeah, you can see it is at P prime. Once it is at that point, you're going to make an arc on the upper side and the lower side. So we need to make an arc on this side with the distance P to P prime. So you make an arc on this side. Then of course we are also going to make an arc on this other side. So I also make an arc on this other side. Then with the same radius, transfer now the pair of compass to point P prime and make another arc to meet the first arc. So I'm going to make another arc here to meet the first one. I also do the same on the upper part of this particular point. I also make another arc. Then of course after that you join the point of intersection of those two arc. So I'm going to join these two. So from this point I'll simply join it through the other arc that I've made. Then we are going to repeat the same procedure for another pair of point and its image. So because I've used P and P prime, let me choose another point. So I want to use R and R prime. So you take your compass to point R the way I'm doing it. Then you stretch it until it goes to R prime. So let me increase until it goes to R prime. So this is my point. R prime is around this point. So let me reduce the length of my pair of compass until it fits to R prime. Once you have that, you are going to make an arc on this side and also the upper side. So let me make an arc this way. Then you also make another arc on the upper side. I make an arc on this side. Then with the same radius, I transfer my pair of compass now to R prime. That is its image this way. Then I make an arc to meet the first one. So I'll make an arc here to meet the first one. Then similarly, I also make an arc to meet the other arc on the lower side. Of course, once you have those two, you use your ruler to join the points of intersection of these two arc and the other arc this way. So you join these two, of course, using a ruler. So mine will come to around this point. Let me draw it from the upper side. So from this point, I need to connect these two. Yeah, exactly, it will be that way. So the point of intersection of the first green line and the second line would represent the center of rotation. Remember, you can also perform the same process using even another point, for example, point Q. Yeah, we can actually try for point Q, but I expect the point of intersection of the two lines to be the same. So we can also try with Q and Q prime, but in an exam situation, you don't need to do all the 3 points. 2 should be enough. So let me try Q and Q prime. So I'm simply going to stretch it from point Q. I stretch my compass until it gets to Q prime this way. Then of course I'm going to make an arc on the both sides of this particular line. So let me pick the compass. So this is my compass. So I need to make an arc on this side let me draw the arc. So this will be my arc. Then with the same radius, I also make an arc on the opposite side. So let me make another arc on this other opposite side. Then from that point, you transfer your compass to point Q prime, the way I'm doing it. Then you also make another arc to meet the arc that you've just made. So I'll make an arc this way to meet that. Then I also make another arc to meet it on the other side. So if you connect the 2 points, if you join the point of intersection of this arc and the other one, you realize that they are going to meet exactly at the same point this way. Yeah. So it doesn't matter the points that you choose, any 2 points should pass through the center of rotation. Then you have said in an exam situation, you just need 2 points. You don't have to test all the 3 of them. Therefore, it simply means that the center of rotation for this particular case will actually be our center of rotation will be the point of intersection here, which is actually 0, -1. Therefore, our center of rotation, so the center of rotation will be the coordinate 0, -1. So you can see this is the point 0, then x is -1. So that is our center of rotation. Then we also need to find the angle of rotation. So for us to find the angle of rotation, we are going to join all points, any 2 points, that is an object and its image, to the center of rotation. Then we measure the angle. Therefore, I'm going to use these 2 points. Let me use point P and P prime. So I want to use P and P prime. So I'll pick from point P. I want to draw a straight line from the point P. So let me draw a line from point P so that I can have my straight line from point P is here. So I'm going to connect it to the center of rotation, the point 0, -1. Then I also connect P prime to the center of rotation. Therefore, the angle between P to the center of rotation and P prime should give us what we are calling the angle of rotation. So you can see the protractor is aligning between the center and P. Then of course you can see P prime is through the angle of 90 degrees. Then we can see that the rotation is actually in the clockwise direction, because if P is here, then the P prime is coming to the other side. So this motion, this is what we are calling the clockwise direction. Then remember we said rotation in the clockwise direction is regarded as negative. Then the angle, if I use the inner scale, this is 0 up to 90 degrees. Therefore, it means that the angle of rotation is actually -90 degrees. The angle of rotation is -90 degrees. Negative to represent the rotation in the clockwise direction. Then we move to part B, that is part B of the question, whereby we are told that on the same grid, draw O prime prime, P prime prime, Q prime prime, R prime prime, the image of O prime, P prime, Q prime, R prime, under a reflection in the line y is equals to x. So that means y is equals to x will be our mirror line. So we need to draw the mirror line. So from this point, the equation is y is equals to x. So if I choose random values of x, when x, for example, is 2, the corresponding value of y will also be 2, because if you substitute 2 here, this will be 2. If I pick x as +4, the corresponding value of y will also be +4. Therefore, it means that this particular line should pass through the point 2, 2. So this is 2, then +2 is here. So the line should pass through here. Then 4, 4, 4, then +4. The line should also pass through this particular point. Therefore, I'm going to draw our mirror line. So the mirror line should pass through the points 2, 2 and 4, 4. So this is our mirror line. It should pass through these points 2, 2 and 4, 4. So this is the mirror line that we are calling the line y is equal to x. So this is line y is equals to x. So we are required to reflect O prime, Q prime, and that is O prime, P prime, R, Q prime, and R prime through this line. So in this method, let me use the method of using a pair of compass. So you simply take your pair of compass the way I've taken it this way. Then you ensure you construct perpendicular to meet your mirror line. So using my pair of compass, I put it at point P. That is, let me start with point O. Then I'm going to reduce its length. I ensure that this compass should it should cut this particular mirror line 2 times. So let me rotate it. I should ensure that it cuts it 2 times. Then with the same radius, I take my pair of compass through one of the points of intersection. Then I'm going to rotate it so that it makes an arc on this side. Then with the same radius, I'm going to transfer my pair of compass through the other point that has been made on the mirror line. Then I'm going to rotate it such that it intersects with the original point. So they are supposed to intersect at this point. So let me try to elongate this other line. Remember, I'm not varying the radius. I'm using the same radius, so you can see clearly they were supposed to intersect here. So this point of intersection is what we are calling O prime. So this will be our point O prime. So this is O prime prime. So this coordinate here. Then I'm also going to move to point P. I perform the same procedure. So with point P, I'm going to take my pair of compass to point P this way, the way I'm doing it. Then I'm going to stretch the compass to ensure that it cuts the mirror line 2 times this way. So let me see if it will cut it. Yeah, actually I can use a different ink to differentiate these two. So I'm going to cut it 2 times, so this way. So I'll draw it this way. Then I simply take my compass with the same radius. I put it through one of the points of intersection. Then I'm going to rotate it so that I can make an arc this way. Then with the same radius, I transfer it to this other point that I've made. I transfer it to this point of intersection. Then I also make another arc to meet the first one. So you can see the point of intersection of these two. So this coordinate, the point of intersection, this is what we are calling our P. This will be our P prime prime. Then I perform the same procedure for the remaining coordinates. So I go to Q. So my coordinate Q is here. So I'm going to put my compass through point Q. Then I'm going to stretch it to ensure that it cuts the mirror line 2 times. So you can see it will cut it twice. So let me change the ink for this particular point. So I'm going to make it cut the mirror line 2 times. Then with the same radius, I transfer it through one of the points. Then I'll make an arc on this side. With that same radius, I make an arc on this side. Then I transfer with the same radius. I transfer through this other point without changing the radius. Then I need to move. Let me rotate it with the same radius. Transfer it to this other point here. Then you rotate it. You make sure that it cuts the initial point. So the point of intersection, that is point what we are calling Q prime prime. So this will be Q prime prime. Then we perform the same procedure for the remaining point, which is point R. So I'll take my compass through point R prime this way. Then I also make an arc to meet my mirror line. So this is my mirror line. I can try to reduce this particular length. Let me try if it will intersect it twice. I need to reduce this particular length. Yeah, up to around that point. Yeah, it will actually intersect it 2 times. So I'll make an arc this way. Then I simply transfer my compass through one of the points that it has intersected with the mirror line through one of these points. Then I'm going to, with that same radius, I'm going to make an arc on this side. Then I also transfer it to the other point of intersection. It was this point here. Then I rotate it to meet the first point of intersection. So actually they are supposed to intersect somewhere here. So I need to elongate this one. So let me take my pair of compass through this point. So I need to elongate this one, yeah, until they intersect. So the point of intersection, this is what we are calling R prime prime. So this is R prime prime. So we have R prime prime, Q prime prime, P prime prime. Then I believe we also already have O prime prime. Therefore, we are simply going to join these points. That is, so I'll join point O. I'm going to join the point O. So this was the point of intersection. So I'll join O prime prime. I'm going to join it to P prime prime. Then P prime prime should be joined to Q prime prime. Then of course Q prime prime should be joined to R prime prime. Then R prime prime to be joined to O prime prime. That is the initial point. So this is a reflection through the line y is equals to x. So in our next lessons, we'll be looking at further examples. Thank you very much. This is Kind Tuition Academy.